my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Another Wednesday. Another Wednesday. Another Wednesday. Can you sense the excitement and the enthusiasm in my voice? We go from blood and guts last week to pillows and sleep this week. There's only one person that genuinely finds any of this exciting outside of the 2,500 or so that were in Boston, Massachusetts. Not even your own Mercedes can draw flies to shit in Boston. I'd love an apology from everybody. Maybe one of these days I'll get it. There's only one other person that enjoys this slop that we were given tonight. And that man's a liar. Because only 24 hours ago, he was exclaiming to everybody how great things are in AEW. As evidenced by tonight's festivities, clearly they are not. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try and navigate us to a quick review so that I may jump back on Arc Raiders and I can put this show to rest because nobody gives a shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the venue. Inside my mother's basement, I got my cold beverage. Hopefully you guys got yours. You're going to need it. And on this Wednesday night, when I walk through those doors, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite Post Show for November 19th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on this Wednesday evening, wherever you may be, joined by the one and only, my co-host on Wednesday nights, the Chi-Town Smart Jesse himself. What's going on, man?
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. How you doing, man?
How you feel, bro?
Not good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm suffering from a case of boredom, bro. You ever come down with the boredom on Wednesday nights?
I watch Collision.
So you know very well what that feels like.
I watch Collision, so you don't have to. Even though you keep trying to watch Collision tonight, stop watching. It's my job,
bro. I as soon as Megan Bain and Marina made their entrance, bro, I shut the TV off. You know, I had to at least look at the ladies come out there, man. There's a lot to look at out there, you know.
So in the midst of doing Collision Corner and trying to make it, entertaining and funny and things like that, a lot of the times I'll skip over the fact that at least over the last couple of weeks, and to the people in chat who actually have been watching Collision, they'll probably attest to this, but the women have actually been holding it down over there on Collision, man. The women have actually been doing well. Much more impressive than the men, to be honest with you, on Collision itself. So I want to give it up to the women's locker room over there on Collision.
You mean to tell me they are colliding on Saturday nights?
They actually are, man.
All right.
They are doing their damn thing over there. They really
you
are.
mean to tell me our girl Tekla, Jesse, Tekla is killing it on Saturdays?
Tekla is really good, man.
We love Tekla.
Good.
We love Tekla.
We do love Tekla.
Somebody get the word to Tekla that we appreciate and very much enjoy Tekla.
We are Tekla fans, bro.
We are. You know what I'm not a fan of, Jesse? It's this Wednesday night, man. Coming out of a Blood and Guts last week, where we were, honestly, I don't know. I didn't really ask you, man. I thought we were fair last week. Would you consider us fair last week?
I think we were. I mean, you know what? What I normally don't do is go back and watch our shows. This one I went back and watched the show, and I tried to look at it through just different goggles, and I can see how a third party who doesn't normally watch our shows would take last week's show out of, just I don't normally watch their product, and I'm watching this, and they were very negative because you could say like, hey, we told you what we liked about the show. We said it was good here and then here and then here and here, but we also said what we didn't like. But we kind of emphasize more, very, very much more on what we didn't like, more than so on what we did like. And I think that's where the discourse is coming from.
Yeah, well, I mean, they just can't take criticism. It's just the lay of the land with the AEW sickos. You know what I don't like is the fact that we came out of a Blood and Guts match, and there was copious amounts of blood spilled and weapons and spots and people finding themselves outside the cage and people being burnt to a crisp, and it's just nonsense. Every single week we see AEW with their just lust for hardcore to get that contained over 2.5 hours last week. And then tonight, if you guys watched the show, which I'm assuming many of you did not, we got a steel cage match announced for Adam Page and Samoa Joe in the main event of Full Gear. Then we got a no DQ match with Kyle Fletcher defending the TNT Championship against Mark Briscoe. And then tonight, we are getting, again, a no DQ match at Full Gear between Jon Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly. So we're going right back to the fucking plunder and hardcore and blood and violence and chaos. Meanwhile, we just got through Blood and Guts. Now, I don't know who looks at that and says that's a sound, creative decision, but this goes back to what I just mentioned, and this is why I asked Jesse if we were fair last week. Because one of my main criticisms, and I stand by that, and I place my cap and shades on top of that fucking flag, the more you do something, the less valuable and the less impactful it's going to be. Yet here we are, Jesse, with, a half a week to go until we get to Saturday. We'll be covering Full Gear, and they go right back to doing an overabundance of plunder and garbage matches at the pay-per-view, lessening the impact of what happened at Blood and Guts. And just overexposing a tired gimmick because they're booking to the lowest common denominator. Now, I don't know what you think about that, but I very much stated last week that I'm immune and I don't really give a shit about any of this because we see it so often. But here they are going back and proving me right once again. And I just sit here and laugh, and I point and laugh at all the sickos who claim that we're negative. But everything that we say most of the time kind of comes to fruition. The truth kind of comes out. And I can sit here confidently and say that what we said last week holds a lot of validity, because look at what they did tonight going into Full Gear.
No, that's fair. That's fair, man. Our assessment of they do give us a lot of the hardcore stuff on a regular basis. I wouldn't say they get it every week, but we do get it quite often. We really do. And to give us a special, a special Dynamite, a special episode where it emphasizes, the hardcore stipulations and things like that, it's kind of hard to take it as a treat because we get it all the time, seemingly. It's like a running meme. Moxley's coming out, he's probably gonna bleed coming, down the walkway. It's a Mark Briscoe match. It's a no DQ. They do have a lot of hardcore wrestlers. So to the untrained wrestling fans, so for those who don't know, there's certain styles of a wrestler. You have your grappler, you have your brawler. Your brawler would be considered a Stone Cold Steve Austin. All right. You have your grappler. Your grappler would be a Bryan Danielson. Okay. And then you have your deathmatch wrestlers, the guys who cut their teeth and, made their fame doing death matches. Mick Foley. All right. Mick Foley in WWE was straight up PG'd. He was watered down to a PG version. But then when they let him loose to do what he does best, it was in a special environment. It was at the Royal Rumble with Triple H. It's at Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker. We didn't get that Mick Foley every week, or not even every pay-per-view. It was kind of few and in between. I Quit match with The Rock. That's the kind of match that he made his fame doing over in New Japan and things like that. So when he did it, it was a special treat because he didn't do it quite often. But in AEW, guys like Moxley, who will be considered like a deathmatch type wrestler, he gets to be in his element quite often. So then when you have a special where they're gonna, have the whole show based around like a deathmatch type environment, it doesn't feel special anymore because we get it all the time. That's like having a pay-per-view where these matches are special because it's straight wrestling. That would be the change up for AEW because it would be a lot different than what we normally get.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is, bro? Out of all the matches on Full Gear, the one match that you would think would have hardcore outlaw mud show rules with Darby Allin and Pac, which I actually quite like because the way Pac kind of said what he said tonight.
He set it up, yeah.
He wanted to take away all of Darby's bells and whistles because he feels like he's the superior athlete and he's already shown Darby that he can play his game. Now he wants Darby to play his game, and he's confident that Darby can't. So actually, out of all the matches on the fucking show on Saturday, I'm looking forward to that one much more than anything else because Pac is fucking great, and the way he kind of set it up was fucking great too. Out of all the matches, that's the one match where he wants no hardcore. He just wants a straight wrestling match. So it's like, all right, now you got my fucking attention. See? Yeah. That's all you got to do.
He's taking him out of his element.
Yeah.
And there's a story to it. It makes sense. So, yeah, I do get it. The tendency for AEW to put on a no holds barred, a no DQ, type match like that is far more frequent than you will get in the average promotion. It's much like ECW. ECW in their heyday was all about these kind of matches. So it was literally their bread and butter. It was extreme championship wrestling. It kind of feels like we're kind of getting a blend somewhere between WWE and ECW. AEW is somewhere in the middle of all of that.
Yeah, well, ECW died many, many, many moons ago. We don't need to kind of drum that up and bring that back to life and resurrect it. So, all they need to do is tell some stories, which right now it is a very difficult task for them to do. So tonight, coming out of Blood and Guts, how many people on last week's show actually walked into this week's show without a bandage or a fucking injury or a cell job? How many people? Were the majority of the talent that wrestled last week on tonight's show without showing any type of, wounds from the war that was last week in Blood and Guts? What happened there?
Oh, just wait for a Collision Corner.
All right, I won't say anymore. I don't want to spoil Jesse's banger Collision Corner, but that's the one thing I noticed. It's like, what the fuck? He just went through all this shit. No one's wearing any bandages. Nobody's wearing any fucking, anything from last week. What the fuck?
They're good to go. They're all fine.
It's like they regenerated. It's like a video game. Like they're all back to 100%.
They respawn.
It's like I go into a fucking RPG and I find the nearest town and I fucking take myself asleep and I'm regenerated for the next morning. Like, really? Come on, man. Anyway, as far as tonight's show, well, I'm sorry, Jesse, what?
They all had med kits. They all took med kits.
Yes, they all had the stim shot. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. As far as tonight's show goes, I felt this show was absolutely fucking boring. If you missed this show, you missed nothing at all. There's zero story coming out of this show outside of a thing here or a thing there. They're really, it's getting to a point where people think AEW is telling stories. Tony Khan wants to try and convince himself to Ariel Helwani that they're telling stories and they're having a great year. What they do is they don't tell stories. They think that Wrestler A versus Wrestler B for some sort of fucking bullshit title or stipulation is a story. It's random matches every week. That's not what I look at as far as story. So I'm going to leave it to Jesse so that he can guide us tonight. As far as this 3-hour fucking shit show, in my opinion, what was the most important thing on tonight's show that you want to start off with?
Oh, wow. So that's a good question. I guess we can start with Hangman and Joe. I guess somehow getting us pumped for their main event match with Hangman taking on Shibata.
Oh man, I can't wait to talk about Shibata versus Paige.
and Joe on commentary. I gotta agree with you on the fact that this was supposed to be a go home show. So the stuff that we were getting from this show should have been something that gets us super excited for the pay-per-view. And I'm not gonna lie, it didn't do that. It did not give me, and that should have been the biggest takeaway. That should have led the show. I would have started the show off with the world champion coming out or Joe coming out, something to get us pumped up for this damn pay-per-view. Instead, we got, Ricochet coming out, and my God, they let him talk for way too long. And oh my Jesus Christ, bro.
Bro, what an awful promo. I mean, holy fucking shit.
It was so bad.
Bro, I swear to God, I think they purposely want to lose audience, bro. It's like they let this guy go on and on. Bro, he could put, anybody that you name, you fill up an auditorium of thousands of people, bro. You could put that guy out there on a microphone, he put all of them to sleep in 5 minutes. It's exactly what he did.
Yeah. It was I don't know whose idea was for him to come out, and at first I thought they were just gonna start off with a match because we got Bobby Lashley coming out, then we got Ricochet, and then the bell was about to ring, and before it did, this dude turns and grabs the microphone and proceeds to drag down the aura of the show. This was a terrible way to start out the show. It really was. But the point was, it should have been the world champion starting the show off this way. We should have, and they don't start off their shows with the world champion enough. If Hangman is the top of the card, he should be front and center. He should be coming out to basically lay down the blueprint of what we're going to get on tonight's show. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what we get. We got Ricochet boring the holy hell out of us. But we did get Hangman at the end and with Joe on commentary, and that was supposed to be our go-homes. I think that was supposed to be the most important thing on the show, and it completely missed the mark for me.
Imagine that WWE has Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns, right? Roman Reigns is a better example. Imagine Roman Reigns holding the championship and they kind of devalue him by throwing him out there in the middle of the show, right? You start this big thing on a Friday or a Monday, and the first person that you don't see is Roman Reigns as the world heavyweight champion. or Cody Rhodes or CM Punk. WWE has a tendency to get that right most of the time. Like Cody's always going to be out there. If there's something big going on with Cody, Cody's the first thing that we see. If Roman's out there, Roman's the first thing that we see. If CM Punk is out there doing something big and he's the world champion now, CM Punk is the first thing that you see. But Adam Page, I mean, it just goes to show you that the reign of Adam Page after winning it in Texas has been fucking deplorable. And I don't really even blame him for it. It's the fucking writing team, quote unquote. And I use that term loosely. There is no fucking team. Tony does everything. He decides on everything. He's the final say on everything. His reign has been fucking awful. To a point, honestly, I'm at a point, Jesse, that if Page and MJF eventually end up in a match at World's End, with hopefully MJF winning the world championship back, because God only knows we need him back sooner rather than later, and as the world champion, just to give us some sense of old. Like, I'm not even interested in the match. Like, I'm severely hoping that at Full Gear in the steel cage match, Samoa Joe wins the championship just to throw a fucking wrench into the fucking boredom that we're seeing right now with Adam Page, because he's not doing much of anything. Joe wins the championship, and MJF conquers those demons from Samoa Joe at World's End. And I don't know what they do with Page, but I'm hoping that they give us some sort of unpredictability inside that steel cage match, because Page right now, his title reign is one of the worst of the entire year out of either promotion.
You know, somebody asked me in my stream who I thought was winning, and if it was like a foregone conclusion that Hangman was going to retain. And I said, you know what, I'm not sure about that.
No, it's not.
I'm not sure about that. I would not be shocked at all if Joe wins this title this Saturday.
Well, they got to make sense of the heel turn, right? Why are you going to take someone in Samoa Joe who was a babyface, you turned him heel to simply get us this match at Wrestle Dream, and then, or actually, you didn't really turn him heel going into Wrestle Dream. You made the match because there was no other competition for Page. You turned him heel at the pay-per-view so you get the match at Full Gear, and then you're going to have him lose again? I mean, Joe is kind of immune to a lot, but I don't think Joe would be immune to that type of situation. You almost have to have him win. Like, he's not that bulletproof. Like, even the best are going to have some kinks in their armor with fucking shit booking. So I don't know what they do, but I think everybody hoping for Page or thinking Page is going to win, I won't be too quick on that. If they are smart, the right thing to do is make the heel turn matter and the heel turn make sense, and have Joe win the championship, and then Samoa Joe defends against MJF at World's End, and you just go back 2 years, and you have MJF get his revenge on Samoa Joe for what Joe did. I think that's the better story, because he's been out. Hangman and MJF have had no contact, and to bring him back after all this time, I would rather see him and Joe instead of him and Page, honestly.
Yeah. No, I agree. They've kind of mishandled Hangman's world title run right here. I see Don Callis far more than I see Hangman Adam Page on my TV.
Yeah,
and that should not be. That absolutely should not be. Your world champion should be coming out to set the tone of the show. His music hits, the crowd pops. You got a babyface world champion. Crowd pops. He comes out, does his cowboy shit. Talks his shit, talks about Joe. I mean, this is just simple, just basic stuff. Joe comes out and Joe talks his shit like only Joe can do. You know, they get into a pull apart brawl. Is that so like just it's just so rudimentary? I mean, it happens all the time. I get it, but we're missing it. We don't get it at all. So it needs to happen. You know, just the basic babyface heel pull apart brawl going into the pay-per-view. And I mean, I'll be the first to admit, we'll be sitting there calling it, routine and, mundane, but we don't get it. We never get that. And we need that. We need that interaction to start off the show. Then you thread it throughout the night. These dudes are still fighting in the goddamn back, knocking over production crates and everything else. They got to be pulled apart. They got to be, just no excitement. There's no excitement. Yeah, everything is just, here's your segment, here's your match, here's your next segment, here's your match, here it is. And how was the show, everybody? Boring.
Yeah, like it's fucking absolutely as uncreative as anything. Champion fights fucking goon from faction. He beats goon from said faction with leader of faction on commentary watching the challenger for his title match at the pay-per-view. It's like, what are we doing here? And then obviously the champion's going to beat Shibata. It's like you can't even give me any fucking unpredictability because we all know that Page is not going to lose to Shibata. He's going to end up walking through him. And then he cuts a fucking monotone, same old shit Adam Page promo at the end of the match. Samoa Joe gets angry, and that's the end of the segment. Like, where's the fucking creativity? Where is the fun? How are you going to get me excited about a world championship match with this level of fucking nonsense? And then you want to put it in a steel cage to mask the fact that there's no fucking interest and there's no story after we just got through 2.5 hours of steel cage matches. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing?
Very true, man. I mean, I like coming here and I like being fair. You know, I like calling it down the middle. I like, giving, them a fair shake at what they do. But this was very lazy. This is very lazy. And starting off your show with Ricochet cutting that promo, it deflates the show. I mean, you're trying to set the tone. You're trying to get everybody hyped and excited. And you start off with a Ricochet promo that seems like it was intentionally bad. I mean, it was just intentionally just really terrible. Like, why would you want to do that? Why would you want? Then you squash him. Then you squash the guy with Lashley. Isn't this guy supposed to be something you're trying to do something with? Why'd you beat him that bad in a matter of 2 minutes?
Tony Khan is going to put the national championship on Ricochet so that it offsets the fact that he's a fucking loser. It's exactly what he's doing. Because he wants Ricochet to be at a level that he obviously can't book him to get to. So he's going to put the national championship on him and pretend like all the booking was worth it to make him feel important. That's why he lost the way he did tonight.
All you're doing is putting a title on a weak-looking champion.
Exactly.
I don't get it, man. I want to enjoy what I'm seeing. I want this stuff to make sense, and it's just not. It's just boring, and I want it to be exciting, but it's just not. They are scared to take risks. They are scared to do something outside of the box. They are scared to do something that can result in some positive interactions on social media. I mean, it is just boring, mundane, and then there's violence and blood and guts, and then it's like, hey, that'll pop the crowd, bro. It'll be fun for the live crowd. I had someone reach out to me. My guy Josh reached out to me after Blood and Guts. He was at Blood and Guts live. He said that, I mean, he said, he agrees that the shows are boring and everything else, but he had the time of his life at this show.
I know you and I have been to an AEW show several times. We know how we know how good the live atmosphere is. That's not in question. We never question that.
That's the whole thing. I wonder if he's getting these live reaction crowds and thinking, okay, this is going to translate well to TV. It does not.
No, it doesn't.
It does not, man. It does not. And it's such a miss. It's a huge miss because sitting at home, we're bored off our asses, man. It's just not good.
Guys, Mercedes did not win 14 titles, okay? She was already the champion walking in. She was holding the interim champion. Now she's just officially the champion that she was already holding. She's 13 belts money. She's going for 14 on Saturday. I don't know if she's going to win, but again, it's coming down to a I'll believe it when I see it situation. If she loses the stat, I'd be shocked. If she loses the stat, I also wouldn't be shocked because Statlander should honestly win. I don't know what you're doing there if she doesn't win. What are you going to do with Mercedes holding the women's championship while also holding the TBS championship? Doesn't make any sense.
This is not helping her stock. This is not helping the women's locker room.
No.
I don't understand who this is supposed to be helping.
I don't know. I don't know. What is AEW without all the plunder? Like, what is their identity? Oh, this is where the best wrestle. Meanwhile, you strip that hardcore nonsense away and the fucking outlaw mud show nonsense, the hardcore, the blood, the violence, the gore. You strip that all away and you actually put on a fucking program with what they usually do. It's the same shit every week. So no matter what they do, it's the same shit every week. It's the same match every single week with the same spots every single week and the same false finishes and kickouts of finishers every single week. What is AEW's identity if they're not giving you 4 or 5 no DQ matches every fucking pay-per-view? They don't even know who they are anymore. Like, they've gone so far down the fucking hole that they don't even remember what they used to do. It wasn't this bad. They used to tell actual stories. They used to just kind of surround themselves with continuity and booking a show that had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Like, what is this shit? Like, you can't even tell what the company is anymore. This is where the best wrestle. They do this hardcore shit because they are afraid to write actual stories. Either that or they don't know how to. What is so difficult? I don't. What is a story on this show? Can someone point me in the direction of a story? What is the story here?
There's titles being competed for. That's not a story, though.
No, Wrestler A versus Wrestler B with fucking one of their 18 titles on the line is not a story.
Or money. Don't forget money.
That's not a story.
Oh, well, okay.
What is Kyle O'Reilly's issue with the Death Riders? Is there an actual story there? What is O'Reilly's mission here with Jon Moxley? What is the premise of the story? He wants to tap him out?
They are heels and he's a babyface.
So there's no story.
No.
So the only story here with the Death Riders exists with Darby Allin. That's it. Yes?
I would love
Maybe.
I would love a legitimate story. I would love one.
Again, I asked chat. I mean, I need someone to point me in the right direction. Where is the story on this show? Is Paige and Joe a story? No. Is the tag team title tournament a story? No. Is whatever going on with Megan May, Marina Shafir, Toni Storm, and Mina Shakira a story? No. No, it's not. That's not story. Story needs dialogue. Story needs direction. Story needs to take you from one episode to the next, to the next, to the next, with these same characters in revolving angles and fucking tensions and intrigue. What exactly are we doing as far as story here, chat?
I remember when Vince did it a long time ago. I kind of just, snubbed my nose at it. I thought it was a terrible idea. But coming full circle, I think it was brilliant. And Tony Khan needs to do the same. He needs to hire some Hollywood writers. He needs to hire some Hollywood writers to help him structure an entertaining story throughout his 2-hour television show. Because just putting people in matches and having them go out and do these matches is not a television show. That's just an indie card on TV. We need you're on TV every week. We need a reason to turn back onto your show every week. Like, I need to know exactly why I'm turning my TV onto your show next week. Why? Because this happened last week and I want to know what's going to happen next week. Not they wrestled a match last week, so I'm going to tune in next week to see them wrestle another match next week. And after that, they're going to wrestle another match next week. No, what is the storyline? What is happening to make me want to tune in? I mean, my God, I remember watching the storylines where Stephanie McMahon was kidnapped. The fuck, the boss's daughter was kidnapped on TV? I have to tune in next week to find out what happened with the boss's daughter getting kidnapped. That's something happening. Is it over the top and ridiculous? Yes, it's fucking over the top and ridiculous, but it's television. It's a television show. It's supposed to be a little ridiculous. It's pro wrestling. It's going to be ridiculous, but it's something to tune into. My God, you see fucking Raw last week? Fucking Vince McMahon's daughter got kidnapped by The Undertaker? What kind of shit is this? You gotta find out what happened next week. There is none of that. There is just wrestling.
Again, I'd love for someone to pinpoint me in the direction of a story here. There's legit over 2.5 hours that we watched tonight. No story. No story. There's no story going into the pay-per-view. The Don Callis family, the only story that even is remotely interesting on this fucking program is Takeshita and Okada, and Takeshita wasn't even there.
Yeah.
So that was another week where we didn't get any dialogue between those two. And then, after Full Gear, we're going right into the Continental Classic, where there's no story. Just matches and matches and matches and points.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this show. There's more story when I watch Dr. Disrespect play Arc Raiders, bro. He can jump onto a fucking raid any given moment. If there's more story coming out of a fucking 20-minute raid on his stream than there is on a 3-hour Dynamite. Like,
I want to be submerged into the show. I want to be submerged into the storytelling. I want to take part in the booking, in the creative booking, in the fantasy booking process. You know, I hope they do it this way, and then they can have them go over here and do it this way. No, it's just who wrestled, who won. Okay, next match. Who wrestled, who won. Next match. Who's the champion? Okay, how much money they're wrestling for. And again, if you're new here, I mean, look, man, I want to defend this company, but it's getting hard to. They're not giving me anything to work with. It is very boring. It is very mundane, and it is very boring.
They had 3,000 people in attendance tonight in Boston. 3,000. Do you know that when Mercedes debuted with this company, they did near 10,000 people in, I don't know where the fuck they were, TD Garden? I don't know where the fuck they were. I think they were at the TD Garden. Tonight, they're running some fucking rinky-dink auditorium with 3,000 people with Mercedes main eventing their A show with her 14 fucking titles. If that tells you, or if that doesn't tell you where the state of AEW is and why people have tuned out and Mercedes is not a draw, I don't know what to fucking tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You know, 2 years ago, Jesse, we got Mercedes and Okada debuting on the same fucking show, and we got some banger shows that stretch in March when they did Big Business. And look at where they are now. Like, I don't understand it. Blood and Guts, you know, they usually do Blood and Guts in the summertime. Blood and Guts, 2 years ago, they did around 9,000 people at the TD Garden in Boston. The last 2 years, 4,000 and 4,000. So Blood and Guts, a marquee show once every year, was once highlighted by this massive Blood and Guts match. Now people can't be bothered to fucking care, and their audience has been cut in half by more than 50%. Where did everybody go? Why isn't there any interest in what is a flagship match and a flagship show for AEW? And then I don't know if you realize this, they're running 2 residencies in December and in January, back-to-back months. They're going to have a residency at the Hammerstein Ballroom here in New York City in December during the holidays. And they're going right back to the Esports Arena in Arlington in January for the entire month. But things are great. Everything is so great in AEW. Open your eyes and see what's actually going on. We are not the only ones that are saying it. Everybody that's not attending these shows, and the fact that AEW needs to fucking downsize significantly and has still downsized. Even when we all thought that they would be turning the corner by now, they're not. We're not the only ones who are saying anything, Jesse, about how bad everything is. People are actually now starting to speak with their fucking wallets because nobody's showing up to this shit.
It's going to continue. It's going to continue. They need to consistently put on interesting shows. That's it. They can't put on one good show and then say, "Whoop, see, did nothing. Let's go back to what we used to do." No. You got to bring people in with compelling story. You have the wrestling. If all you had was story and no wrestling, and the wrestling was terrible, we'd be sitting here saying you need a better locker room. You need better wrestlers. You need to up the ante in the ring, bell to bell. That's not the case. The wrestling is great. You have a fantastic roster that can nail whatever you put in front of them, but you're not giving them shit to work with. You have to give them some direction. You have to give them something to sink their teeth into. I'll use Toni Storm as an example. She came in just as mid as she left WWE, but you gave her something very, very interesting with this movie star gimmick from the 50s or whatever the hell it is, and she killed it. She nailed it. She got over as fuck. She got the crowds behind her. She was probably your top star for the longest of times. And even now, she's falling off. I don't know what the hell they're doing with her right now, man. It is a stretch from what she was a year ago. So do
you realize that Braun Strowman's show is beating Dynamite in the ratings? Everything on the menu with Braun Strowman?
Not with me. It's not.
It's getting bigger ratings than Dynamite.
It's on TV.
It's on USA Network.
I had no idea.
Following SmackDown at 10 p.m. They're doing just as much, if not more, than Dynamite. They beat Dynamite in the ratings 2 weeks ago, bro. They did almost 600,000 with Braun Strowman's show. They're beating Dynamite in the ratings, watching Braun Strowman eat food.
I had no idea that was even on TV.
What are we doing? You don't look at that as an embarrassment.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
We're going to get into this show. We're going to try and get you out of here in a timely fashion because I really don't want to be here any longer than I have to. But we thank you for joining us here tonight. We are looking at 1,900 people in here on a Wednesday night. So please, if you are in the chat, hit that thumbs up because it is imperative you do. Because we're going to need at least 750 likes for Collision Corner. So make sure you guys go and do that. It's a modest goal. We're already halfway there. So please go and hit that thumbs up. And Jesse will deliver what he has texted me today, a banger of a Collision Corner. So if you guys want to see that, you know what to do. Super chats are open. Get them on in. It's the best way to support what we do here on Wednesday nights. So please go and do that and get them in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Make sure you guys go follow Jesse as well on X. You see his right there at Chi-Town Smark. And follow him on YouTube as well. Link for his channel will be down below in the description below. Go check out all the content on the channel. I'm sorry, Jesse, again.
And Twitch. I now have a Twitch account. It's in the chat right now. There you go. Jesse is streaming gaming on Twitch, and sometimes I pop in there, and I was actually playing pretty decently on Black Ops 7 with Jesse over here, but he was still learning the ropes, so hopefully we can get him up to speed over there. Yeah, I do. I got to pick up the pace, man.
But go check out the channel as well, man. The homepage, we got a lot of stuff. We had the Monday Night Raw review, which was a big night at Madison Square Garden with John Cena's final Monday Night Raw. So we talked about that going into War Games. Tuesday Night Titans episode 121 with the Solid Monster. We had a great discussion last night. We talked about literally everything that happened on Raw, everything that happened on SmackDown. We went back and previewed, or I guess reviewed, Blood and Guts. So make sure you guys go check that out. We even broke down all of the Tony Khan interview with Ariel Helwani. It was me and Jason. And then again, I did it today to give you guys another hour on the topic. So if you guys want to go check that out and hear all the bullshit that Tony was spewing to Ariel Helwani, I got you covered there. So go check that stuff out. And then the next time you see me live is Friday after SmackDown. And then we'll do Full Gear on Saturday, which right now I'm not looking forward to. So that is the channel and the videos that are readily available for you. And like I said, 750 likes for Collision Corner. So make sure you guys get that in. And we are nearing 500. So I am pretty confident that by the end of the night, we'll have the goal met for Jesse's Collision Corner. All right, man, we're going to start at the top here. This was a 3-hour show. We only watched 2 hours of it because the last hour is usually complete dog shit. And we didn't want to watch any more wrestling, boring wrestling, than we really needed to. So, unfortunately, we start things off with one of the worst segments maybe all year on any pro wrestling show ever. Ricochet comes on out and cuts a promo. So, Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet is a one-on-one match. This is for the #1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match at Full Gear that will determine the new AEW National Champion. So, Ricochet takes the microphone and he is going on about the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly, he says, running down the crowd in Boston, saying that the only good thing to come from this town was his wife, Samantha. Ricochet was surprised Ariel Helwani didn't ask Tony Khan about MVP having dementia and the national title. You're looking at the inaugural champ. After Saturday, the fans and bold idiot like Lashley will give him respect he deserves. Nobody will stop Ricochet from fulfilling his quest for gold. He goes on and on and on, and Lashley's just standing there, and I'm wondering why Lashley didn't fucking pop this guy in the mouth to spare us from this terrible, terrible promo.
Same.
I don't understand it. So finally, Lashley chokeslammed Ricochet out of the ring onto Gates of Agony, and he steamrolled over all of them, including launching Toa Leona over the timekeeper's table here. And this match was pretty quick. Surprising, Jesse. I thought they'd get a lot more time than they did. Ricochet's promo was longer than the fucking match. Yes. So this was basically a one-sided affair. Ricochet sidestepped a corner charge here, got a schoolboy for a 2, and he went on some offense with a running shooting star and a moonsault combo. He goes to the top rope for a shooting star, but Bryce was pulled in front of him and allowed him to rake the eyes of Bobby Lashley. He loaded up the spirit gun. Ricochet charged. Lashley caught him with a huge spinebuster spear, and that turned Ricochet inside out. And this match literally lasted about 3 minutes Bobby Lashley beats Ricochet to earn the #1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match at Full Gear. Absolutely nothing happened after this match. No further tension, no further push towards anything. It was a spear and on to the next segment. So, just like last week, Jesse, when we got the announcement of the national championship, we got 3 guys in particular that were announced as like the front runners, the guys that were already in the match announced. It was Ricochet, it was Bobby Lashley, and it was Shelton Benjamin. And that is going to be the case here, as we'll talk about in a little bit with Shelton Benjamin. But these 3 guys, it's going to be one of these 3 guys, and I think they'll end up giving it to Ricochet because I don't think Bobby Lashley needs the national championship. I think we need to get him onto bigger and better things, never mind a national championship. I think they'll end up giving the national championship to Ricochet for the reasons that I mentioned, and they are too lazy to book Ricochet in a meaningful way, so they feel like they could kind of offset that, give him a new championship, let him run with it, and have him feel important and have him feel special when we all really know that he's not. So it's not going to really work the way that they want because you got to be at least booked correctly to make the championship work, and the championship doesn't really have any value at all because it's brand new, so it's not going to help Ricochet. So we're at a lose-lose situation here, man. Who is this benefiting?
Didn't they say that the national champion is going to be someone that's going to defend that title in other promotions? And
it is
like
going
that?
to be defended all over the globe. The national championship, which predominantly means nationally here in the United States, not internationally. You know?
Yeah. I can't see Bobby Lashley going off to indie promotions to defend a title. He's too old for that bullshit, bro.
No.
He has one job in one company. He's gonna show up and do what he's supposed to do, and the man's gonna go home to his fucking family. So
that is a very good point.
Yeah, Ricochet, I could see doing it. I mean, it's probably gonna go on someone younger that has the time and or the will to want to go out and perform out in the indies somewhere. That's not Bobby fucking Lashley.
You know, Solomonster said last night that he's making a bold prediction as far as the new and first ever national champion in AEW. He actually is predicting someone that we haven't seen in a while make their return on Saturday in the Gauntlet match, and he's going with Switchblade Jay White as the new national champion. I'm like, I don't mind that at all. I think that would be perfect for him.
Yeah, I don't believe he's close to returning though. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think he's close to returning, but that would be great too. That'd be great. I miss Jay White, man. We need him back.
Jay White's great. So, yeah, we got Bobby Lashley in that match, #1. We'll find out who is going to be also #1, which they labeled #2. Same thing, to go against Bobby Lashley to start that Gauntlet match on Saturday. Samoa Joe's backstage with Shibata and said it must feel good for Adam Page to be a fighting world champion. Joe said he was told if he interferes tonight, he'll lose his AEW World title match this weekend. Oh, man, I wonder who made that rule. Joe said Page's whole world of joy and happiness is about to get very different very quickly. Page is guilty of crimes and transgressions against the ops, and it'll be at the hands of Shibata. Deadly by design, violence by intention. Your camera just went out, Jesse.
No. All right, I'll work on it.
All right. Tonight, Shibata begins Page's payment, and at Full Gear, Joe will fully collect.
It's working.
I see Elgato. Please run Camera Hub to use Elgato virtual camera.
Yeah. The fucking software is up. I'll work on it.
All right. So Shibata versus Page. They're trying to get you excited about it, but we all know what the outcome's going to be. There's no reason for Shibata to even come close to beating Adam Page. So, just words that mean not really much of anything. And I think Jesse, did we lose Jesse? Let me see. I think we might have lost Jesse here. Hold on. He is disconnected right now. I will get Jesse in here as soon as possible, chat. So give me some time. I will continue on here with Dynamite. The Young Bucks were backstage watching their highlights of Full Gear past in yesteryear. They were watching their own highlights of when AEW was actually relevant and good. So Renee approaches them and asks if they're joining the Don Callis family. Before they can answer, Don Callis walks in and cuts off the interview with Renee and the Young Bucks, telling the Bucks to go out there and show them why they are the best tag team on the planet, and then they can make their decision after the match is over. Callis even gave them his patented introduction and announce them to the ring. There's Jesse. He's back. There he is.
Bro, I don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't know, man. Listen, it's all right. It's a technical difficulty. It is what it is.
What the fuck?
There's the sickos canceled Jesse. Yes, exactly right.
Let's go. Let's go.
So Don Callis is introducing the Young Bucks here. Matt, Nick Jackson, and Josh Alexander. A little warm-up match here against Sky Flight. Scorpio Sky, Dante, and Darius Martin with Christopher Daniels. And the only one that really matters of this bunch, Layla Gray, Jesse. Layla Gray.
Gotta love Layla Gray, man.
Listen, man. I have no problem with her being out there.
Gotta love Layla Gray.
Another party match here. Who gives a shit? You know, no. I'm just tired of the fucking party matches and the party six-man matches. Another thing that he's overexposed and abused on television. It doesn't really mean anything. Cool moves and flips and dives and fucking... I don't even know who the legal man is. It's the same shit with all these matches, just different characters and names. Who was going to win this? Honestly, Skyflight was going to win this?
No.
Come on, man.
No.
So,
it feels like house shows.
It feels like a house show match, yes.
Yeah, these matches like this, they feel like house shows. They feel like it's fun to be at, but as you're at home watching this, you're like, I can pull up YouTube. I can pull up random wrestling matches on YouTube and find just random wrestling matches to watch. Put them on the playlist, and that would pretty much mean that I got Dynamite right here.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
So Dante Martin here at the end cleared the top rope with a massive dive on the Bucks and hit Alexander with a top rope crossbody for a 2 counts. Alexander countered a sunset flip into an ankle lock. Dante rolled out. He then tried vaulting over in the corner, but Alexander cut him off and sent Dante back in for the Bucks to hit the dreaded Meltzer driver. Alexander then shoved the Bucks out of the way so he could apply the ankle lock, and he got the submission for the win. Don Callis came into the ring post-match. He was there with Mark Davis, Hechicero, and Rocky Romero, the 3 losers of the bunch, and said now they can announce that they're joining the Don Callis family. The Bucks were reluctant, and Callis reminded them that the money has been flowing now that Callis has been looking after them in recent weeks and demanded that they announce it. Callis started getting a little frustrated that they did not, and said AEW can be a very dangerous place, and the Bucks walking around without a family could result in something very bad happening to them. Callis would hate to see what happened to Kenny Omega happen to the Young Bucks. So Matt and Nick slowly turned at Callis until Kenny Omega came out, and he ran out with a chair. Omega came out with the chair, and he took out Rocky Romero and Mark Davis on the aisleway before hitting the ring and taking out Alexander. The Bucks pulled Omega off of Alexander, and he shoved them, and this distraction was long enough for Alexander to come back in and get an ankle lock on Kenny Omega. Callis ordered Alexander to let him go, screaming into the microphone, and the Bucks don't have to announce that they're joining the family. Instead, he wants them to show it by giving Omega a BTE trigger. Callis kicks Omega. Bucks slowly look like they're going to do it when Jurassic Express comes out and makes the save on Omega, clearing the ring of the Don Callis family. Jack Perry had a shovel, and Luchasaurus had a vacuum cleaner, which I guess kind of goes in line with Kenny Omega being the cleaner. The dinosaur wants to pretend like he's funny. So Alexander had his arms around the Bucks on the outside, and the Bucks looked conflicted over what they wanted to do. Do they want to be in the family, or do they want to be with their friends, Kenny Omega and the Jurassic Express? So clearly, Jesse, like we've already documented, this looks like their redemption arc. This looks like AEW getting the Young Bucks back into the good graces of the fans by aligning them with their friends. FTR will win the tag team championships. They will go challenge FTR for the tag team titles. And eventually, I'm sorry. I'm skipping ahead. FTR will win the tag team championships. Edge and Christian will come back, win the titles from FTR, and then we'll eventually get the Young Bucks versus Edge and Christian for the tag team titles next year. So that's in my opinion, the order of happenings as far as this. But it looks like their redemption arc is well underway, bro.
So we talked about earlier how there was literally no stories going on at all. This is an ongoing story, and I did forget about this one. I did forget about this one.
Sure, I would absolutely lump this into the, okay, out of everything on the show, this is something that constitutes as a story. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. It's been an ongoing story. I kind of forgot about it. The story has been the Young Bucks trying to get their respect back since they lost their EVP titles. We figured that their journey will lead them to becoming tag team champions, where they'll get their respect back. But now it's taken a little bit of a detour almost, and it's got them possibly joining the Don Callis family. I do feel like the story arc is kind of running a little bit long. I thought we were going to get some kind of payoff tonight. Either they were going to join or not join, you know what I'm saying? Or just go full babyface. But they're still dragging it out. We're still waiting for an actual response, or if they're going to join the Don Callis family or they're going to go full babyface. Maybe we'll get it at the pay-per-view. I'm not sure. But this has been, I would call it a mid-level. I guess by default, it's probably the best storyline on the show because it's pretty much the only storyline on the show. But for quality-wise, I think it's a good mid-tier story-wise, you know, for a show to have. It's been kind of fun to, you know, to have and here and there. But I'm waiting for it to develop, if that makes any sense. I mean, it hasn't gone anywhere in quite a few weeks. And I have been enjoying it. I've actually been enjoying it for a while, you know, with the broke buck situation and everything like that. But I'm waiting for this Don Callis family thing to have a payoff because it's been going on a little too long for me.
You know, I can envision something happening at the pay-per-view where the baby faces win here and you know, the Don Callis family attacks Kenny Omega, takes out Jurassic Express, and then they want the Bucks to attack Kenny Omega and prove their allegiance to the Don Callis family, and then they don't. And then they end up joining the Elite again or getting back with their friends again. So I could see something like that happening at the pay-per-view. You know, I'm not really totally invested in any of this because I don't really give a shit about any of these characters. I know they're all friends and that's all they want to do. They want to have a good time and they want to work with each other and they don't really give a shit about telling any cohesive story that's going to generate an interest or build to something bigger. You know, they just want to be out there having fun. That's all they want to do. I don't care either way. Though I have expressed my love for Jurassic Express, I think they're better than this, and I think they should be moving on upwards towards the tag team championships. But this was fine for what it was as far as the story. The match, I don't really give a shit about these party matches. Bucks and Alexander win. Give you a little taste of what's to come at the pay-per-view, which that match will be for $1 million. It's the biggest money match that Tony Khan has had so far on Dynamite. Yes, with the Pinky, Mr. Dr. Evil, yeah.
There you
go. The Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. Renee is out there interviewing them backstage, and she brought up that they will wrestle the Sisters of Sin, who we did not see tonight because Sky Blue was bleeding buckets. I would be very concerned if we saw Sky Blue just randomly showing up tonight without showing any wear and tear from the Blood and Guts match. So I'm glad we didn't see her. Out of all the people that were in that match, she should absolutely not be on the show. So that's going to be the second round match. Harley Cameron said they're fun, excited, bodacious, and people might not take them seriously, but ask Athena and Mercedes Moné. They will be the first ever women's tag team champions. They chest bumped and headed out of the interview. They will not be the women's tag team champions. Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa will be the first ever AEW women's tag team champions. It's nice to hope, but I don't think Harley and Willow are even going to make it to the finals.
Probably not.
That's my opinion there. Shelton Benjamin, he went one-on-one with Speedball Mike Bailey. This is for the other number one spot in the Casino Gauntlet match at Full Gear to see who starts that match because it's like a reverse rumble. You want to start it instead of coming in last because the whole premise of it is that if you get a later number, the match could already be over and your number might not even be called. So that's the whole premise of these gauntlet matches, if you guys are not aware. This was okay, but there was a fucking horrible, horrible botch at the end of this match, and I don't really know what the fuck happened here. So Speedball hits a shooting star press, landed perfectly. Bailey pins Benjamin and only gets a near fall. So then he goes for the moonsault double knees. He got it on Benjamin. Bailey went back to working on the arm bar. Benjamin again powered out and just launched Bayley in the air. Bayley then sidestepped a corner charge and got a schoolboy for a 2. But Benjamin got up and absolutely took Bayley's head off with a super kick. Benjamin got a visual 3 because Bayley didn't kick out. So I don't know what had happened there. After this big super kick, Benjamin went for a cover, and Paul Turner, the referee, was counting 1, 2, and then all of a sudden he stopped his count because it wasn't the end of the match, and Bayley did not get his right shoulder up. Meanwhile, he was supposed to. So apparently the fans were booing. They knew it was a 3 because everybody saw Bayley didn't kick out. MVP thought it was over as he got in the ring. He was told to leave. Benjamin goes back on a flurry of offense here, hits a German suplex and another devastating super kick, and finally got the pin over Mike Bayley. So he wins, and he now meets Bobby Lashley at the start of the Gauntlet match on Saturday at Full Gear for the National Championship. I don't know what happened here with the botch, Jesse. I don't know if you saw what happened there, but I don't know why Paul Turner just didn't count 3 to spare everybody the embarrassment, because if he counted 3, it would have only resulted in the same outcome that we got 30 seconds later with Shelton Benjamin winning the match. I don't understand how these referees go about these things and they don't call it as a shoot. I've always been of the impression that if something like this happens, you just call it as you see it and just end the fucking match instead of embarrassing everybody, including yourself. Like, I don't know what happened to Bayley. Did he get concussed? Did he forget? I don't know. Was he knocked out for a little bit? I don't know what the fuck happened, but it was an obvious mistake, and it looked fucking silly.
I'm looking at it right now, and it just looks like the ref
stopped his count.
Yeah, he just completely botched it. I mean, that was the finish. So what I'm saying was the roll up, and I don't know why the ref didn't, because there's a super kick, which was the eventual finish. And 1, 2, Bayley didn't kick out. It was supposed to be the end. That was it. But the ref, for some reason, started going like under his arm, like his arm was up. He never moved. The match was over. That was the finish because they got up and redid the same finish. And then he counted 3. That was a referee botch. That was nobody else but the referee right there.
Yeah, it looked stupid, and it was a horrible botch. I don't know why he just didn't count 3. Shelton Benjamin got up and absolutely destroyed Mike Bayley after the botch, so at that point it was over. And he advances to Full Gear to wrestle Bobby Lashley, at least in the opening minutes of the Gauntlet match for the National Championship. So we go on from that to the Death Riders. Oh, joy. Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli with Danny Garcia and Marina Shafir in their corner against Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. The one thing that we are severely missing from what we've already reviewed here, Jesse, is the fact that they're outside of Kenny Omega, because I think Kenny Omega is a star. Outside of Kenny Omega, and Bobby Lashley. Horrible, horrible fucking feeling on this show, man. There's just no stars. There's nobody that is must-see on this show. Now, I wouldn't even label, honestly, Kenny Omega must-see. I just don't give a shit. But there's no real top-level superstar on this show that's going to really kind of grab the audience's attention. Like, it's just random matches with a bunch of fucking mid-card guys and lower-level guys that nobody genuinely and truly gives a shit about. It's like, this is why we're so bored with the fucking show.
Yeah, that's definitely, that would be MJF and Will Ospreay in particular. Swerve was definitely getting up to that level. Adam Cole should have been at that level, but I think he was not quite there due to poor booking of him. But he's had reoccurring injuries as well, though. But absolutely, MJF and Will Ospreay are the must-see superstars of this program, and they're both just not on TV, and it's hurting right now.
How do you feel about the Death Riders not showing any signs of going away? You would think after Blood and Guts that maybe they'd be selling some aspect of Moxley losing and tapping out. Seems like everything is still sunshine and rainbows over there in Death Riders world.
Yeah, maybe someone should put that in a Collision corner or something.
I don't know. Maybe it's there.
It could be.
It could be
Who
there.
knows?
You know, you guys could actually hear this Collision Corner if 750 likes. And
If
that
we got
goal is
some
met.
likes.
We only got 589 likes. What are we doing?
What are we doing, chat? Let's go.
Yeah, pick up the fucking pace. Come on now.
Jeez.
You think we want to be here?
I got a banger, bro. I got a banger right here.
Get with the program.
All right.
Moving on. Death Riders. Moxley and Claudio versus Cassidy and Roderick Strong. Boring. Who gives a shit about any of it? All four of these guys were in the Blood and Guts match. Jesse, did you see any wear and tear or any signs of war on these guys' presentation?
Nah.
It's
But,
like last week never happened, man. It never happened at all.
I think commentary mentioned something about it, if that helps.
No, I need to physically see something.
Oh, well, sorry. I can't
We don't
help you
need
there.
Sockface to tell us what everybody's feeling as if we're supposed to feel for him and with him. Come on.
I don't know why nobody in the back, as they're going out, as they get their assignments, as they, get the run sheet and everything else. Like, hey, before we go out here, out of Gorilla, shouldn't I be, limping or, grimacing a little bit from my injuries? Nobody's mentioning this, for him to say, oh, yeah, sell the injuries. That's right. Nobody said anything to him about it? Or did they mention it and he said, no, don't sell it? I don't understand the process. We have veterans. We have seasoned veterans in that locker room who I'm absolutely 1,000,000% sure were of the belief that they should be selling the injuries from Blood and Guts. So did they say anything or did they not say anything? Did they say something and they got ignored? That's what I'm wondering.
And then they wonder why we shit on the program every single week and why Ariel Helwani's got to bring up online criticism and old head pundits that shit on AEW and Tony Khan and everything that he's doing. Well, I mean, when you go about disrespecting the fucking logic of pro wrestling, gee, I wonder why everybody is shitting on us. It's just common sense. It's common sense. Imagine you're watching a television show and one of your favorite characters on said show gets shot one week and he's got this fucking huge injury and then he shows up the next week and the injury's not there.
That's such a pet peeve of mine, of these shows where a character gets killed and they come up with some ridiculous reason as to why he was brought back to life. I hate that shit so much. You kill somebody, they're dead. They're dead.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Man.
So we pick it up at the end here. We'll pick it up after the commercial break. Moxley at Cassidy in a full Nelson. Claudio tagged in and he is firing off machine gun uppercuts. Cassidy is isolated in the Death Riders corner. Claudio hits a very abbreviated giant swing, and Cassidy battled back with a leaping DDT out of the corner, and both guys are now double down. Strong and Moxley tagged in. Strong comes in with a huge offensive flurry, locks Moxley in the stronghold. Garcia distracted long enough for Moxley to recover into a paradigm shift on Roddy. Cassidy made the save. Claudio launched Cassidy outside, tried a doomsday device on Roddy, but Moxley was crotched and Claudio planted with an angle slam. Strong, after the angle slam, hits a big-time superplex on Moxley until Cassidy tagged himself in and popped Garcia off the apron with an orange punch and then one to John Moxley as well. Wheeler Useless is out there. He appeared on the apron, and he was being chased by Orange Cassidy, who slid back into the ring into a Claudio pop-up uppercut. Moxley quickly applied a bulldog choke, and the referee stopped the match with Cassidy tapping out to Moxley. Post-match, there was a beatdown from the Death Riders to the conglomeration, and Kyle O'Reilly hit the ring and quickly gets in there and got an ankle lock on Moxley, who was frantically tapping out to Kyle O'Reilly in a visual tap-out. You would have put the boots to O'Reilly, but he wouldn't break the hold as he kept the ankle lock applied on John Moxley. Referees pleaded with O'Reilly to release the hold as Roddy and Cassidy held off Garcia, Yuta, and Claudio, and they managed to pull Moxley to the outside. O'Reilly took the microphone and demanded a no-holds-barred match with John Moxley at Full Gear. Just like Blood and Guts, the history books will say Moxley tapped out. You know, I look at Kyle O'Reilly, Jesse, and I look at Roddy, and, the one thing that I always remember you telling me is, do you remember when the Undisputed Era, it was I think it was Roddy and O'Reilly, defended against Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch at TakeOver Chicago. I always remember you said that was one of the best tag team matches in NXT history.
Yes, one of my favorites of all time. Yep.
I look at them then, and I'm like, man, these guys are going to be killers on the main roster. And O'Reilly and Roddy have been here for how long now? O'Reilly's been there longer than Roddy has, but they've been together here in the absence of Adam Cole for a few years. They went from the Undisputed Kingdom to the Paragon to now Conglomeration. And they are really, man, I don't know why, but they are really trying to get O'Reilly over, especially. They're trying to get Roddy over. And I mean this with the utmost respect to both of them. They are fantastic professional wrestlers. But if you are legitimately asking me to care about two guys who they've basically treated as irrelevant for the last 3 years, all of a sudden now, because he's in the ring with probably one of the worst factions of all time in the Death Riders, and one of the worst stories in the company's history in the Death Rider story, which we still don't really know where they're going, bro, that's a lot to ask. Like, I get what they're trying for, and I get that they're really pushing O'Reilly for this big match with Moxley. But at the end of the day, bro, I got to ask a very simple question. How the fuck can you care if they've went so long by treating him as irrelevant, only for them to then ask us to all of a sudden care about Kyle O'Reilly, man? That's a very hard ask.
So I like that you brought up the Lorcan and Birch match with those guys, because here's the thing about Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. So they are not big guys, okay? And at a time when the internet loves to call everyone vanilla midgets and things like that, and coming, out of the era where everybody was huge and buff, we're not in that era anymore. The thing that made them special in NXT is it is the way that they were booked. It's the storylines they were given. It's their overall general aura, because they're not big guys. They are smaller guys, but these guys ran around this faction ran around running shit. They had just straight up just BDE, bro. I mean, they were just the top shit in town. And then when the bell rang, they did their thing. They're not big guys, but in the ring, you'll be hard pressed to find better workers. They can throw that shit down in the ring. And they can get themselves over in the ring, and they can finish telling you how much of a badass they are in their matches. But when you book them the way that they're booked now, when O'Reilly's like a comic relief type figure, and Roderick Strong is, great guy, love him, but he's also doing comedy when it comes to his gimmick. They're not badasses outside of the ring. They're great wrestlers in the ring, but when you book them the way that you book them, it's not the same. They don't give off that same energy, bro. I mean, when they were Undisputed Era, they were them, and they had Adam Cole, and they were running shit, and they were just whooping ass. They were like a gang, like a pack of wolves whooping ass and everything like that. It was so entertaining. And then when you had like Lorcan and Birch out there, who were just hard style fucking wrestlers, and they were tired of this bullying bullshit from these guys. They were ready to fucking fight, and these guys were ready to fight. And it just came to a fucking head, and it was money. Why? Because the way they were booked outside of the ring. You can't just tell these guys to go out and do what they do in the ring. And then that's another thing too. You're giving them like 3 minutes to tell their story in the ring. They need more time than that. It's not the same. You don't get the same energy. You don't get the same payoff. You don't get the same respect from the crowd. So we're just here watching them do grapples. It's not as fun anymore, man. You can't book them. You have to book them bigger than the way that they look, because they appear to be smaller guys. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like you have to book them to be just badasses, and they're not. They're comic relief.
They are comedy,
It's not the same thing.
No. Now, the Undisputed Era was anything but comedy. Here, they're comedy. I mean, just look at their fucking opening video package when they come out to do their entrance. It's like 90210 / fucking 90s sitcom. So it's like, well, what do you want me? What do you want me to think of these guys? They're nothing more than a bunch of jobbers put together called the Conglomeration. It's exactly what they are, a bunch of jobbers.
Yep.
Yeah, you want me to sit here and think that O'Reilly and Strong will amount to anything by battling the Death Riders? What is the end goal? I gotta ask the chat. What is the end goal? for Kyle O'Reilly and Jon Moxley. Does anybody see Kyle O'Reilly as a major champion in this company? Where does he go? Is he going to beat Jon Moxley? I don't think he is. Maybe he does. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they play the angle out with Moxley tapping out to Kyle O'Reilly, and then that's what facilitates the Death Riders to be upset with Jon Moxley. But I don't really see why Jon Moxley would lose to Kyle O'Reilly when we all know that there's yet another Darby Allin match on the horizon. Why would he lose?
Yeah.
Where are we going with it? What is the end goal for Kyle O'Reilly here? Is he going to be a world champion, a TNT champion, a national champion, a tag team champion with Roderick Strong? What is the purpose of this?
Yeah.
You're getting him over for what reason? To say thank you for the last 3 years? There's got to be a reason. I don't know.
Look at all of the guys who are actual badasses on the show in their character. Look how over they are. Look at Joe. Joe is a fucking badass. Look at Bobby Lashley. He's a fucking badass. He's over his shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? You have to book these guys seriously. MJF. These guys, they have fucking aura. They come off as actual legit badasses. You can't book them like comic relief. You can't book them with all of this hokey shit and then wonder why they're not getting over. I mean, this is Kyle O'Reilly. I remember when O'Reilly was out, I was praying he'd come back soon. We need O'Reilly back. Get O'Reilly back with Strong and get Cole. Do this shit all over again. Be great. They got them all back, and creative failed them. Creative failed them. These guys are fine as pro wrestlers. They're fine themselves. You have to make them just believable. When I say replace badass with believable, you have to make them believable through creatives because they're just not believable right now.
I don't think O'Reilly's promo resonated with anybody. Like, who did it resonate with? Like, he's cutting this promo on Jon Moxley at the end of the match, asking for an all-holds-barred match. Like, bro, we seen you fucking laughing and fucking comedying it up with fucking Hologram, a couple of months ago. Like, now you want me to take you seriously? I don't think anybody buys what Kyle O'Reilly was saying here at the end of this match. I don't think Kyle O'Reilly's buying what Kyle O'Reilly's saying at the end of this match. Who gives a shit?
No.
Like, Jesse's correct. Like, you can't treat someone like comedy fodder for 3 years and then all of a sudden just turn around and make him serious in 3 weeks. You can't do that. Like, he's got to be booked like a Bobby Lashley. He's got to come out looking the part. He's got to come out sounding the part. He's got to look like he's wrestling the part. You can't skimp on any one of those things. Otherwise, it's not going to work. All of a sudden, you want me to take him seriously because he's wrestling Jon Moxley in an all-holds-barred match and his face was covered with blood and guts. You got to do more than that, bro. You can't fucking sell me on 2 weeks when you've treated this guy for 3 years like a loser.
Yeah. There's way too much comedy going on with these gimmicks. I mean, sure, there's a place for a couple here or there, but it's not just heels, baby faces. Hangman is not booked as comedy fodder, and he's considered a badass, and he is over. These guys are supposed to be fighters. They're wrestlers. They're here to fucking fight. You cannot make them come out there and just do skits and joke around. Right? It's too much of that. You only need one or two, and then when they do it, it sticks out. You get half the conglomeration are all fucking smiling and joking and having fun. Are they here to fucking fight or to make an episode of Friends? What the fuck is this?
I don't know.
Come on.
Bro Dito, they cut a promo on FTR and said that they're one of the best tag teams in AEW history, but they have never beaten them. Bro Dito never stops fighting, and they'll remain tag team champions when Full Gear is over. I highly doubt that. Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express are backstage and talked about how they say that money can't buy friendship, but the Bucks have proved him wrong before. Once Josh Alexander took his frustrations out on Michael Nakazawa, boy, oh boy, that's a name we haven't heard in fucking forever. I guess they're really trying to get that feeling back. And he attacked Michael Nakazawa. Then it became personal. I would imagine that maybe it was personal after he broke Ibushi's leg. Not Michael Nakazawa, but what the fuck do I know? No amount of money will save them from what they will do to them at Full Gear. Omega is standing there. Perry walked away holding the shovel while Luchasaurus, he did a roar in the camera and walked away. He was without his vacuum, by the way. I guess he put the vacuum back in the janitor's closet. Timeless Love Bombs, Tony Storm and Mina versus Alex Windsor and Alex Windsor and Riho. Oh man, I know everybody's excited to watch Riho on Wednesday night. Quarterfinal women's tag team title tournament match. Gee, Jesse, do you have any idea who won this match and advanced to the semifinals here?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, though. I feel like I was the one that mentioned and wondered why the hell Windsor was not on our TV anymore a couple of weeks ago.
Well, clearly she was in the tournament.
No, this is before the tournament, though.
Didn't you mention this last week?
I mentioned it a few weeks ago. Where was Alex Windsor? Yeah.
Well, she's here, and they placed her in this fucking random tag team with Riho. I guess they're the only team in this tournament that doesn't have a fucking name. But
give it a minute.
Do they have a name?
No, I said give it a minute and it'll sink in. And he'll come up with something.
Well, Mina did a DDT leg breaker combination on Riho. Windsor or actually she did it to both Riho and Windsor. Tony Storm tagged in, and then she's going at it with Windsor. She followed up with a DDT of her own for a near fall. Tandem tornado dive as Mina got a near fall on Windsor before stomping on the knees, trying for a figure four. So she's really going for this figure four gimmick lately. Windsor fought it off. Mina charged in, but was flattened with a blue thunder bomb. Cazadora lariat double stomp combo here by Riho and Windsor. Storm broke the count. Windsor dropped Storm outside with a cannonball off the apron. Riho missed a double stomp, allowing Mina to hit a spinning back fist, and then she went again to apply the figure four. Storm and Windsor took turns turning the submission in their partner's favor until firing off dueling headbutts into one another, collapsing on Mina and Riho, breaking the submission. So clearly an indie mud show spot that they have to reenact on live television, which looks completely ridiculous. Storm and but the sickos will think, whoa, that's great tag team wrestling. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Storm and Windsor tag back in. They're both the legal women. Windsor hit a lariat leg sweep, attempted the sharpshooter. Storm escapes. Big kick Germans by both Tony and Mina, who followed with stereo sweet chic musics. As Storm spiked Windsor with Storm Zero for the 1-2-3, and they advance to more than likely wrestle Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir in the semifinals, as that is what has been building coming out of Blood and Guts. So very predictable semifinal match here. Nobody expected Tony and Mina to lose. So they advance. This was fine for what it was. Again, uber predictable, Jesse. So it kind of took me out of the element for a little bit because we all knew who was going to advance to the semifinals here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, this was low-key just kind of just thrown together just to fill a spot and serve this purpose.
Renee and her voice is heard saying she received breaking news from Tony Khan that the semifinal teams will meet in a four-way match at Full Gear. The winners will choose the stipulation for their tournament match. Now, I don't know. I'm actually at a loss for words for this. I don't know. I don't know why we need this match at the pay-per-view. I really don't. So you're throwing all four teams in a four-way match at Full Gear to do what exactly? To do what? With the winner choosing the stipulation for their tournament match. So not only are we getting a myriad of stipulations at this fucking show, now you gotta bleed the stipulations into a fucking tournament where a tournament doesn't need stipulations. It's who wins and who loses. That's the stipulation. Why are you confusing everybody?
It's so confusing.
What are we doing here?
So fucking confusing. How many matches do we have?
Why do we need another match for the pay-per-view, bro? Why do we need another match added?
How many matches do we have, man?
Couldn't you have booked the pay-per-view the way that it was with less matches and then maybe include these two semifinal matches to the pay-per-view? Oh, my God. Someone make sense of this, please.
Can't.
A four-way match with all 8 women, and the winner of this match will choose the stipulation for their tournament match. What stipulation? Are we going to get another death match when we don't need one? Yes, let's add more blood and gore to a tournament where the tournament should spare us from such garbage. Bro, I think they have a fucking problem. It's basically Tony's an alcoholic, bro. He's addicted to hardcore. He's got a vice. His vice is fucking hardcore. It's like an alcoholic with alcohol, abusing alcohol, drug addict abusing whatever the fuck they like to have fun with. Bro, this guy's got a fucking problem.
EC Dub.
Put the fucking tapes down, Tony. Put the tapes down. I could see him literally going into his fucking dorm room, bro, as a fucking 42-year-old male. Where on his dad's yacht, he goes into his fucking quarters, and he's like, oh, man, I need it. I need the hardcore. What do I got on the shelf? Oh, man. Barely legal, 1997. Give it to me. Inject it into my blood. Ah! What are we doing?
Oh my God, man.
It's fucking ridiculous. Tired of it. Moving on. Mrs. MJF is backstage with Kyle Fletcher. Don Callis is there. Mark Briscoe's there. They've agreed to no physicality for now. And that's why such high stakes for their pay-per-view match. Why there are such high stakes for their pay-per-view match? That was the question? Why are there such high stakes for the TNT title match, Jesse? Do you know?
That's a question I have to ask. Oh, well, I mean, because if he doesn't win, then he has to join the Don Callis family. That's right.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he wants the TNT championship?
Well, no,
God forbid we make something important in this fucking company.
No, it makes it high stakes because if he doesn't win, he has to go against his morals and his values and join Don Callis. That would make it high stakes for him.
Yes, that means he's going to do whatever he has to do, and he's going to lower himself if need be to get the TNT championship. God forbid we make something feel important here.
I would cheat to win. How ironic would it be that he has to cheat to win to avoid having to go to the Don Callis family where they're going to expect him to cheat to win?
I apologize. Maybe I shouldn't say Mrs. MJF. I feel like I might get canceled for something like that. Alicia Atut. She has her own name and her own identity, okay?
Own name.
Yes.
We should be calling him Mr. Atut.
Yes. Yes, we'll do that. That's a little bit more safe. That's a good idea.
There you go.
We need 7 more likes, 6 more likes for Collision Corner, man. Do I need to go on with this segment or should we just break into Collision Corner? What's the deal, chat? We're going to do it?
5 more likes.
5 more likes.
Right here. We're going to sit right here and wait for 5 of you guys to hit the thumbs up button. The show's going to be on pause. Here we go. Now we're going to wait.
I need to go find Heat Wave 1998 injected into my veins. Dad, where are you? I got the needle stuck in my arm, Dad. Where are you?
Unbelievable, bro. It's. Oh, there we go. There
you go, man. Come on.
All right.
Where we going?
Let's hit it. Let me get my background. Okay, let's hit it, bro. Collision Corner.
There he is. Oh, my goodness. Collision Corner coming up.
All right.
Where is he? Look at him. There he is.
We got a doozy here, bro. We got a doozy. Special shout out to my VIP sponsors, Gold Standard, and you guessed it, Mr. David Rice, bro. Mr. David Rice. These guys are awesome, man. You're going to have to put them over.
We love David Rice. Come on, man.
Love them. All right. The show kicks off with Pac, Daniel Garcia, and Wheeler Yuta coming out to address the huge elephant in the room, Moxley losing again. They cut a passionate promo about how he's holding them back and he's being weak and he needs to step it up or step away. I'm fucking kidding. They ignored it.
You actually had me going there for a second, bro. I'm like, this is what was said? Of course they didn't mention it.
They completely ignored that shit. They came out for a match. But at least they came out looking absolutely depleted and destroyed. Seeing how they just came away from blood and guts and all of the carnage that took place 3 days ago. So they no, they didn't. Came out just fine. Bro.
Wow, exciting stuff over there, man. Can't wait to watch Collision.
We're fine. No bandages, no bruises. We're good. Let's see.
You know what the sad thing is, bro? This show was literally taped. Was it live on Saturday or was it taped on Thursday? What happened?
I believe it was live.
Okay, well, either 2 days later, no bruises, no cuts, no bandages or anything, man. Just right out there.
Literally like it never happened.
Ridiculous.
It's fine. They're facing Jay Lethal, Tom Billingsley, and Adam Priest.
Jay Lethal?
Yeah, the lethal injection.
Man, what grave did they dig him up from?
Yeah, he's gotta come out with his boys, Tommy Billingsley, bro.
Wait. Is it Billingsley or Billington? What is it?
Oh, I actually put Billingsley. I put on here.
What's the difference? There's no difference, man. It is what it is.
Here's Billington. Sorry, there you go. And Adam Priest. Let's see. You know the Death Riders won because Moxley was on commentary instead of in the match tapping out. So there you go. Afterwards, Pat grabs the microphone and actually addressed the situation on everyone's mind. Just kidding. He challenged Darby to a match at Full Gear. All right. In a regular match. He did that to me. We get to find out who's the biggest mark in AEW. Mark Briscoe or Mark Davis?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mercedes.
Nope. She wasn't in this match. There was no titles on the line. Let's see. It's Mark Briscoe. Who knew? We get the MXM TV. Skip. Okay.
Wait a minute. How is it a Collision Corner if you're skipping over maximum male models, bro?
It's not a Collision Corner unless I'm skipping over.
Oh my God.
What happened? I legitimately didn't take any note. I think it was Taya Valkyrie versus Tay Mello.
Are their names still Mansoir and Marseille?
What do I know? I skip. Right. There we go. Now, in the most predictable match of the night, we get Scorpio Sky versus Kyle Fletcher for the TNT Championship. Clearly, Fletcher won.
Wait a minute. We got Scorpio Sky and Jay Lethal on the same show, bro. What are we in 2020?
Yeah, apparently, bro. Who knew? On the same show. Being booked in matches.
Yes, it's the same thing. Like WWE had Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler back this week, bro. It's like the AEW's trying to compete.
They are going back in time, man. What the hell is going on around here, bro? Lost my spot. Here we go. Scorpio Sky versus Kyle Fletcher in the TNT Championship match. Clearly, Fletcher won. But if they really wanted to have some fun and be less predictable, it could have made it a non-title match and had Mark Briscoe interfere and cost Fletcher the match. Because why would Fletcher drop the TNT title ahead of his match with Mark Briscoe?
That's a good point.
Why is this a title match?
Well, then you wonder why the ratings were 216,000 overall viewers, bro, and the demo was a 0.03. Like the demo's not existent anymore. There's no fucking 18 to 49 watching anymore, man.
No. Let's stop on the double edge on that sword. How in the hell does Scorpio Sky earn a TNT Championship match?
I don't know. You would know. He's wrestling on Collision, right? You know, he don't wrestle on Wednesdays.
If you don't make it a championship match and have Mark Briscoe come out in my God, whatever, bro.
Do you remember what I said after Fletcher lost to Adam Page and they tried to pretend like he was a world champion caliber contender? I said he's going to lose this match and go right back to Collision holding open challenges against fucking random nobodies on Saturday night. What happened?
Scorpio Sky.
There you go. You can't get any more loser than Scorpio Sky.
Here we go. We get Alex Windsor. Okay, as low as I can go. And Riho versus Maya World and Haya.
Who?
Now,
Mayo World and
Mayo
who?
World
Hyan.
and Hyan. Remember, they were the ones that replaced what's her name, who stormed out and said fuck this shit and left.
Oh yeah, Tegan Knox.
Yes. Now, how much time do you think Maya World and Hyan got this week?
I'm gonna say 5 minutes.
They got 8.
Wow. Isn't that a petty fucking decision, man? Look at that.
They got to give him a few more minutes each week. They gave him 8 this time. Let's see. Moxley challenges the conglomeration to a match anywhere, anytime, where he will probably tap out again. All right. Main event. Oh, man. What have we been missing so far from Collision?
Lucha Lane.
Ooh, we're close. We're close because we have an 8-man all-star tag with Roosh, Sammy Guevara, and FTR.
Oh my God! Please don't tell me this was labeled an all-star tag team match.
Oh, it was labeled a main event all-star 8-man tag team match, bro. Absolutely.
Oh
that's what it was labeled. We get Roosh, Sammy Guevara, and FTR versus Jet Speed, Bandito, and Juice. 50% beard.
Get out of here! Last week he was like 30. You said
35. I'm upgrading him to 50, bro. He didn't cut it this week. It grew.
Yeah, why is he so up and down with this, man? We need at least a 75-80% next week.
Bro, if he doesn't cut it this week, I think we'll be about there, bro. We'll see. If maybe Tony will let him. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want it. Maybe she doesn't want the full juice. I don't know. We're looking for full juice here, bro. So we'll see. Bandito gets the win with a 21 plex, sort of. I mean, it kind of fell off to the side when he plexed. Probably like a 19 half plex, I would call it.
You know what I find funny? You know what I find funny, bro? Bandito's finish has the number of the amount of people who actually watch the show on a Saturday night.
Oh my God. How dare you? How dare you? But do you want to know what? Thanks to my fantastic sponsors, David Rice and Gold Standard. That is this week's edition of Collision Corner. And yep, you guys know what, man? You know what I do? I watch Collision. So you don't have to.
Oh my God. You know what this show is missing, bro? I haven't heard AR Fox mentioned in several corners, bro. What's going on there?
This is very true, bro. What is going on with AR Fox? I'm not sure. I'm assuming an injury.
Isn't he Mr. Collision?
Not if he's injured, bro. I mean, if that's the case, I'm assuming he's injured. Don't know.
Fucking 21 plex, man. There's 21 people watching that fucking show on a fucking Saturday night.
Oh my God, man. I was literally actually sitting there. I'm not even kidding. When I was watching Collision, I was sitting there watching the Death Riders open the show and they were coming out. And they were coming out without Moxley. And I was sitting here saying, like, oh boy, here we go. They're going to come out and put this dude on blast. They're going to come out and say, hey, you got to go. Motherfucker, you are dead weight. They came out. They got to the ring. Nothing happened. And then Moxley came out and he ended up on commentary for the whole night. That's what he did all night. He was on commentary, pretending like tap outs. The crowd kept reminding him that he tapped out.
It's fantastic. It doesn't matter to him. He doesn't give a shit.
Doesn't give a shit. I mean, it's such a playable angle, bro. Your faction is getting tired of you being a loser, and they kick you out, and you got to find something else to do. It writes itself. It literally writes itself.
Yes, chat. Jesse is one of the 21. Yes,
I am the one in 21. I might have to coin that.
That's his new gimmick. He's the one, and Bandito's 21. Yes,
I am the one. Oh my God.
Collision Corner gets more sponsors than Collision. Yes. Says Joseph Gonzalez. That is factual information right there.
He got some awesome flipping sponsors, man. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for Collision next week because we got the 1 hour here, but I'm being told that the buy-in for the pay-per-view, like the hour-long buy-in for the pay-per-view, is also being labeled as Collision. So we might get a very special two-parter next week. We'll see. Man.
Oh man, we'll see. Well, Fletcher says there's a clear winner and loser. No excuses, and Briscoe will thank them for joining the family. Fletcher can't wait to see how he'll thrive under a real family. Briscoe told him not to talk about him or family, as every time he steps in the ring, it's for his family and also his road family who won blood and guts last week, having no intention of leaving that behind. Failure is not an option, as Briscoe won't be letting his family down. He'll be making them proud. Kazuchika Okada and Hechicero attack Briscoe from behind as Callis says he's going to make Briscoe's kids orphans. Fletcher thanked Okada to not agreeing to no physicality, and Okada says he's glad he could help. Where Takeshita could not, Okada name dropped. I guess what did he say? Proto Okada,
something like that. Yeah, he did. He said it under his voice a little bit,
with a big smile on his face before leaving. I'm going Briscoe winning the TNT title. I don't see him not winning the championship. What is this? Their sixth match? He's got to eventually win one of these.
He's going to have to win this.
Yeah.
It feels like the same time where he went up against MJF again. I mean, at that point, he had to win. And same thing here. He's going to have to win the TNT title.
Pac cut a promo on Darby Allin saying he deserved an apology as he promised he would break Allen's neck instead of sending his charred corpse to the hospital. No one has heard from Darby since. He was lit on fire at Blood and Guts. That's because he's scared. Maybe Pac took things too far at Blood and Guts, but if Allen, the boy that never quits, has a backbone, he'll face him in a straight wrestling match. No weapons, bells, or whistles. Without those, there's no way someone like Allen could compete with a legitimate athlete like Pac. I thought this was one of the best parts of the show, honestly.
There you go. Makes sense.
There you go. Like it.
Maybe it's just Bizarro World. Maybe we should just get used to having the hardcore matches in AEW, and as a treat, once in a while, once in the blue moon at the right pay-per-view, we'll get a regular wrestling match. Yeah.
We'll see.
There you go.
I don't know. Main event here, Adam Page. This is the main event of Dynamite, by the way. This is where the sad state of Dynamite really kind of showcases itself. The main event of Dynamite is Katsuyori Shibata against Adam Page for the momentum going into Full Gear. So Joe was on commentary, and he called Tony Schiavone the slippery little pig on commentary. So the match began. I'm not going to go over this because, quite honestly, I cannot bring myself to care or be bothered to watch a Katsuyori Shibata match. I just don't give it. There are things in this world I don't give a fuck about, bro. This is one of them. Danny Garcia and Shibata matches, bro. You got another thing coming, man. If you're asking me to watch and sit down and watch these guys wrestle, give me a break. So we got a chop battle from the break here. Page won the chop battle. He wanted a dead eye. Shibata fought out of it. Tried for a punt kick. Page caught it. So Shibata again countered the dead eye. He hit a Shattered Dreams. Instead of being DQ'd, told referee Paul Turner it was against his thigh. So Paul Turner again, botch number 2 here. He should have DQ'd Shibata, but he did not. Page rolled through a German. Shibata set him up in the corner. And apparently Turner went into the corner with the distraction here, or the miscue. This gave Shibata a chance at a low blow behind Paul Turner's back and then sank in the cross arm breaker. Joe on commentary called the low blow a legal grappling maneuver. Sure. Shibata went for the ankle lock. Page rolled through, leaving Shibata holding Page's boot. He fired off a lariat. Boot went flying in the air, which he caught, and then hit the buckshot lariat to beat Shibata. 1, 2, 3, and that was it. At the end of the match, Collision began. Page hit a low blow receipt on Shibata before staring down at Joe and told him to look around. Although Joe might be surrounded by thousands of crazy-ass fans tonight, he's now alone. When Joe walks into the steel cage at Full Gear, Page wants him to remember Joe doesn't have Hobbs or Shibata with him. He wants Joe to remember what Page did last time he was locked in a cage with another man. Now, as you guys know, that's Swerve Strickland back at All Out 2024, and swears he has no problem doing it all over again. I'm going to go with Joe winning, bro. I think Joe has to win.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm not quite sure what their plan is going forward with it, but I'm sure they have one. They must have one. And it would make sense because, like I said, they're not doing anything with Hangman right now. He's not front and center on the show. He is not. I mean, I don't quite understand what they're doing with him as champion. If he is not one of the first, he should be the first thing we see and then the last thing we see. He should be bookmarking your show, especially when you're at a moment where you're trying to make new stars because your biggest ones are out with injury. They're not. We didn't see Hangman till the fucking end of the show. What kind of shit is that? We had to start off watching Ricochet cut a promo? Bro, he should be front and goddamn center with that title. I'm the fucking world champion. This tells me they have nothing planned for him, and that's why they're going to go with Joe.
It has to be. Yeah, I don't know.
It's got to be.
We got an FTR promo here with Stokely. They're backstage and said 11 years ago, FTR formed and asked if anything Bro Dito has accomplished can be remembered years later like FTR. Wheeler said, Full Gear, they're closing the book on the feel-good story of the year. Harwood said that they keep having the greatest tag team matches of all time and said this title reign will be what they hold their legacy on. Bro Dito are unfortunately in the way as FTR will go down as the best of all time as they hope Bandito's abuela comes to say hello. Top guys out. FTR stands for Find the Remote. Their promo segments are fucking awful. You can thank Dax for that. That's where the show ended for me because I shut the fucking television off after I watched TJ come out and make their introduction, as you guys know why. We got Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir advancing to the semifinals against Toni Storm and Mina. That was set up in Blood and Guts. That should come as no surprise there. We got a double Jeopardy match here, Jesse. I don't know if you saw this. It was Okada versus CMLL Trios champion Mascara Dorada. This was a double Jeopardy match. If Okada wins, the Don Callis family will get a future CMLL Trios title match. If Dorada wins, he'll receive a future Continental Championship match. So,
where was this match?
This was tonight.
Okay, I cut the show off after the. Okay.
So Okada beat Mascara Dorada to earn the Don Callis family a future CMLL Trios title match, and apparently Callis got on the microphone post-match and said that they're cashing in their Trios title match against Sky Team at Tailgate Brawl. I guess that's Mascara Dorada's team, whomever that may be. It will be an all-star team of Okada, Hechicero, and Konosuke Takeshita, which did not please Okada that he has to team with Takeshita again. This match will be on the pre-show. So they're saving Okada, bro. They're putting Okada and Takeshita on the Tailgate Brawl.
There will be no need for Collision Corner next week. We're covering it now.
No, we're not. We're not going over I'm not going over results or match by match dialogue here.
It's covered, chat. We already know now, right? High five it.
And Mercedes Moné in the main event in Boston in front of less than half the people that were there for big business. You know, being that she's from Boston, Massachusetts and all.
Hometown.
None of them cared to come out and watch her wrestle, though. Red Velvet, the Ring of Honor Women's TV Champion. You know, they don't have a TV deal, but yet she's the TV champion. Kind of bizarre.
Need a TV.
Against the interim Women's TV Champion, and Mercedes Moné, who will guaranteed never step foot on a Ring of Honor program. Title unification match here. Apparently, from what I heard, the match was okay for Red Velvet being out for months and months and months. But apparently, Jesse, this is the only part I will go over. Mercedes won, by the way. I'm not sure if you guys are aware. Mercedes is still the TV champion, Ring of Honor TV champion. Statlander apparently looked very, very foolish here for the final sell for their match at the pay-per-view. She tapped out to Moné after the match was over, got right back up from it, and walked to the back when Aubrey Edwards told her to get out of the ring. So apparently, we got Moné in the ring with Statlander. She applied the statement maker. She tapped out visually. and said the title will be hers at Full Gear because she made her tap tonight, so she's going to do the same thing at the pay-per-view. And the show ended with Monet standing on top of the table, and Statlander just got up and apparently carried Velvet to the back after tapping out to Mercedes. Kind of weird.
He said, we're not covering any results, and then you immediately cover the results.
Bro, nobody's going to remember what I said here.
I can't believe they made it look like that. I refuse to believe that. I got to wait till I see it.
Yeah, you say you have to watch now to give us your spin on it, you know?
I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I won't like it. I won't like it.
This is Full Gear, folks. What I'm looking at is a never-ending fucking show. Adam Page, Samoa Joe, Steel Cage match, AEW World Championship. Chris Statlander versus Mercedes for the AEW Women's Championship. Brodito versus FTR for the Tag Team Championship. John Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly in a no-holds-barred match. Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express versus Josh Alexander, the Young Bucks for $1 million. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe in a no-DQ match for the TNT title. Darby Allin versus Pac. Casino Gauntlet for the national title. Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne versus the Timeless Love Bombs versus the Babes of Wrath versus the Sisters of Sin in a tornado four-way. So we got a tornado four-way, folks. That means there's no rules. So we got a tornado match, we got a no DQ match, we got a no holds barred match, and we got a steel cage match. Why don't we just label this Extreme Rules?
What is that, 11? Is that 10 or 11 matches?
I'm not done yet.
Oh, my God.
Tailgate Brawl, El Sky Team. This is Mascara Dorada, Mystico, and Neon. Who? Neon. He's one of the crayons in the Crayola box, bro. Neon.
Negan? Who? What?
Yes. Negan. Yeah, yes, that's who it is. I guess the Don Callis family. Okada, Hechicero, and Konosuke Takeshita for the CMLL Trios titles. Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall. Their tag team name, Jesse, is Boom and Doom. Against Roppongi Vice, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero. And Max Caster and Anthony Bowens versus the Bang Bang Gang. Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn versus Big Bill and Brian Keith versus the Outrunners for $200,000.
So TK has dropped $1.2 million.
Bro, this may be the worst pay-per-view of the fucking year, bro, honestly.
$1.2 million in matches. Get the fuck out.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches on the main card. And honestly, with how trigger happy he is on social media, we may get a 10th. But outside that, 9 matches, 10, 11, 12 matches total with the pre-show.
I don't believe you. There's not that many fucking matches on this card, man.
And next week, the Continental Classic kicks off on Dynamite. Yeah, but we got Negan, Neon on the pre-show, bro. You got to watch it. You got to tell us how. You got to say, bro. That's Collision Corner worthy right there. Just Neon.
That alone, you're not wrong there. That'll. I got to see that. I gotta see
this
that.
show.
That's
fucking
cool.
sucks, man. My God. Oh, let's get out of here, man. We got super chats to read through, and then I'm jumping on fucking Arc Raiders. Get out of here. Thank you guys very much. 874 likes. I'd love to see that closer to 1,000. Can we get to 1,000 tonight? Maybe? Possibly?
Nah.
Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn the bell for notifications. Thank you guys for 174,000 subscribers. Go follow Jesse on Twitter at Chi-Town Smark. Same thing on YouTube at Chi-Town Smark. And go follow him on Twitch if you want to post the link in the chat again for your Twitch stream.
Yeah. Also, another thing what I'm gonna start doing on Twitch is there's a few things outside of the normal box that I can't do on YouTube because of copyright restrictions, but I might start reacting to some music and stuff like that, stuff that I wouldn't normally listen to, just to try to broaden my horizon. Maybe I'll listen to some of your music there, buddy. Maybe I'll listen to some Metalingus.
Nah, but you can't react to Metalingus, bro. You got to listen to something that's like fucking like everybody knows that. You got to listen to something that nobody knows from Alter Bridge. I'll give you some recommendations.
do that, man. I just might cover, bro. I'm gonna take advantage of this. You can play whatever the fuck you want shit on Twitch. I might just do that, man.
Yep. All right, guys. Let's remember, go check out the content on the channel too. That Tony Khan interview breakdown I got live on the channel, and we talked about it on TNT last night amongst everything else we talked about this week on TNT. Go check that out. And let's get into these super chats here. We'll start at the top. Michael Krause with a 2. The best of the best. JD Jesse, let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Keith Hobson with a 20 in super chat. You know, I'm starting to watch this garbage. And Loser Shaw started this crap. What the fuck? Who the hell is Loser Shaw?
The fuck?
Loser Shaw? Keith, you got to tell me who that is, bro. What is Loser Shaw? Tribal Chief. I don't know. You know what that is?
No, I have no idea. No.
Tribal Chief with 27 months. Instead of AEW, I was playing The Last of Us, JD. Jesse, thank you for helping me get through my chemo because it kicks my ass. OTS for life, pal. We are very grateful you're here, brother. And we will continue to entertain you and keep you at ease.
Yes. Yes.
Based with a $9.99 and a $9.99. 20 in Super Chat here. Just saw Tony Storm and Mina might do a death match. I know the creepy neckbeard sickos will have the lotion ready for that one. And donating another 10 to say, keep up the great work, JD. Thank you for being the most honest wrestling podcast next to Jim Cornette and Brian Last. Well, the fact that I'm in the same sentence as those two, and they're the number one podcast in the entire IWC, I appreciate that, Base. Thank you. Brandon with a $5 super chat. If Luchasaurus is coming out with a vacuum cleaner, Kenny needs to come back with the brooms and the sweeper girls. You got to restore the feeling, bro. We haven't seen that in fucking, 4 years?
Yeah, it won't happen. Too much fun.
Yeah. Bizzle is back with a 2. Marina is starting to grow on me. She is good. Yeah, I didn't watch the match, bro. I can't imagine her and Megan Bain make a good tag team.
I don't want to say she's good, but I don't want to diminish what they're doing. They're booking her right. They're booking her the right way. They are highlighting what she does well and hiding her imperfections, which is the right way to book her. So what I was saying earlier about these people not being booked the right way and everything like that, Marina is an exception to that rule. They are booking her very, very well. And that's a prime example of what I was saying earlier. You book someone well, they'll look great. In the ring, bell to bell, she's not great, but the way they're presenting her is the best way possible for her gimmick, and they're doing it the right way.
Out of everybody in the Death Riders, she has benefited the most out of the entire group.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Joseph Gonzalez with a $4.99. WWE makes something as simple as a pile driver matter a lot, while AEW make plunder and blood routine. Will Tony ever learn? No. He won't. That's the problem. Nobody ever seems to think. But, you know, who am I to say, man? I just give my opinion and then I'm fucking crucified for it. Sidro with a 5. Here are the lengths Fred Durst go to if he wants dumplings. He does it all for the... How do you pronounce this? I don't want to fuck this up.
Let me see.
The Nachi?
Let me find it.
The Nucci?
Who is it? Sidro? Must be Sidro.
Sidro. He does it all for the Nachi. I'm assuming it's Nucci because he did it all for the Nookie.
The Nookie? Let me see. I'm still looking.
I did it all for the Nookie. Yeah, Fred Durst. Yeah, Olympic.
I don't see any Sidro. Oh, they had this different names. Shit.
Yeah, Melee King.
Melee. Okay, there we go. I see. Here the length of Fridges go through the dumping. He does it for the Nookie.
Nucci?
Okay. No, it's Nookie. Yeah. Okay, I see what he did.
Noki?
Okay.
The Noki. Yes, I know what it is. It's one of my favorite pastas. I didn't know what the fuck meaning it was here.
Trying to figure out the double.
The Nochi.
The double entendre.
Gnocchi. That's what it is. He did it all for the gnocchi.
Noki. Oh, God. Thank you, Sidro.
Yeah, I fucked it up. Yeah. Yeah.
botched it. You refereed it. You AEW refereed it.
Yeah, just blame me. Fire me.
Yep.
And he named a pet rock after a wrestler, Stone Cold. I keep fucking the fucking joke up. Named the pet rock after a wrestler, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Get it? Stone Cold? Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve. Fucking Sidra.
I love Naoki, man.
Not me.
I love Naoki. Yeah, I Nia Jaxed that joke. You're right, Pandy. I'm sorry. It's late. It's late. I want to get out of here and I want to hop on the Arc Raiders, man. That's all I'm thinking about. Jerry Delino with a 199. Mercedes is everything they accuse Becky of being. True. Spencer Morgan with a $2 super chat. JD, the shades are awesome. Keep wearing them. The whole stream now. If I do that, then they'd lose. Then the shades would be. It would lose the appeal for the opening segment, for the opening drive-in. I don't want to do that. See, I get it. Even though I look good in them. You know who we missed tonight on the show, bro? Sky Blue. I couldn't do my dice joke, you know?
He wasn't there, bro.
He wasn't there.
Wasn't there.
MGM Ballin with 48 months. 4 years as a member now. Time flies. Going to NXT last night was sick. Full Gear should be fun in person. Always is despite the weekly product. Yeah, that Garden Theater looked really, really good for the NXT show.
Yeah. I didn't see it.
Citro. Yeah, it looked pretty good. It's just well lit. I just like the ambiance of it. Citro with a $5 super chat. How do you know you're allergic to Viagra? You find out the hard way.
Saw that coming a mile away.
BlueChew.com, code JD.
There you go.
Mr. Premium with a new membership. Thank you, Mr. Premium. Jason Barker with 39 months. 39 months. Let's go, y'all. 3 pages of horror with a $4.99. Now going to Full Gear with a sinus infection in lovely Newark. Gonna abuse the NyQuil and get looped to see the fun in all this TK hardcore. Bro, you ain't gonna have fun. The show's gonna put you to sleep, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna pass out, bro.
You might as well just stay in bed where it's comfortable. Sidro says you saw that joke coming. Yeah.
Oh, god damn you, Sidro.
Yeah, I did. Jason Barker with a $10 super chat. Ryback is so scared of Fit Nessa and to battle her on TikTok because he doesn't have his smoke in his chat, so he ended his stream early. Did he have this same energy with CM Punk? Bro, I have no fucking idea what's going on, man. You are in so much nonsensical shit, Jason. Like, I cannot be bothered to give a single fuck. Seriously. I appreciate you being here, bro, but if you're expecting me to know who the fuck these people are, man, I know Ryback. I don't know who the fuck Fitness is. Why should I care? Why are we meddling in TikTok feuds, bro? Is there nothing else to do? Glow J with a $2 super chat. Tony Khan is addicted to bad wrestling. That's why. He is. Captain Solo with a $2 super chat. Is John Morrison still employed by AEW? I don't know, Jesse. Is he still employed?
John Morrison? He's on the MXMTV stuff, right?
Is he? Okay.
Skip. Comes out with his wife.
Mr. Premium with a 199. Glad to be back as a full member of this community. Thank you, brother. We got Dalton Meister with a $5 super chat. I do think you both are correct. The blood 24/7 in AEW just gets boring after a while. I much prefer how WWE does blood. They use it very sparingly. Because they know when to use it. Use it when it matters. When a feud calls for it. We're having War Games on Thanksgiving weekend. I'd love to see some blood in one of those matches. Maybe?
I remember you complaining about WWE Hell in a Cell matches happening with no blood happening at all.
Yes.
But they know when to do it.
Yeah, they did it with Punk and McIntyre.
But what happened to the part where he didn't do it in the what?
That was Vince, bro. Vince didn't like color.
That was Vince.
Vince was heavily against that. Joseph Gonzalez with the 199. Thank you for the comments. Collision Corner gets more sponsors than Collision. Real Dan with a 499. Me and my father are going to the Chamber in Chicago. Excited for some Chicago deep dish. Love the stream, fellas. Thank you, man.
Stay away from it. Don't get deep dish pizza. Get real Chicago pizza. Do not get deep dish.
Matt Fisher with 499. If AEW should go out of business, you should review your reviews of Collision Corner. No, I'll just end up covering TNA.
Yeah. I'm thinking about going to cover TNA again.
Crazy Man with a $5 super chat. How would you and Jesse rank these 6 wrestlers' potential/future? Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Javon Evans, Obafemi, Jacob Fatu, and Trick Williams. Out of all of them, who's my number 1? Probably Jacob Fatu. In order, I would. Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah. Dominic Mysterio, you think number 1?
Yeah.
I'm going Jacob Fatu there.
I mean, Fatu has the legacy as well, but and that's a big. WWE is big on name value and legacy. So we got a Steiner, we got a Mysterio, and we have a Fatu. So they all have huge potential upside.
I'm going to go Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, Obafemi, Dominic Mysterio. Actually, this is a tough one. Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, Obafemi, Trick Williams, Dominic Mysterio, Javon Evans. Dominic is number 5 on my list.
Can't go too wrong with those, man. Those guys are...
No, that's a great group of talent there, yeah.
Yep.
David Rice, my guy David Rice with a 50 bomb here, mini bomb. I told Jesse earlier that tonight's AEW show was booked by way of Tony Khan cutting off the head of a chicken and watching where the body stops. That's basically what the show is every week, yes?
He really did say that. So.
Absolutely. That's a perfect analogy for Dynamite and the way that they book things. But
he said, because we were talking about how they didn't really announce any matches for the show ahead of time. I told him, I said, good. I mean, that gives me less time to fucking worry about and stress about what matches they're putting on if I don't have to see them until they hit the show. Like, you know, fine. You know what? Just don't tell me shit, because I don't want to be disappointed any longer than I need to be. You know, so perfect.
The Soca Power with a $5 super chat. Hi, JD and Jesse. I'm looking to get into rock music. Any recommendations for a good introduction group or groups? Yes. Alter Bridge and Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen. Look them up, and that's all you need, and then get back to me and let me know what you think. And Bodie McBoatface with a $2 super chat. Why does Adam Page need momentum? He's the AEW World Champion. Bro, you're asking me the tough questions that I can't really give you an answer to, man. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know how that question is supposed to be directed. I don't know if that's him asking us why we think he needs momentum when he doesn't because he's the world champion, or if they're asking, like, why does he need momentum? He shouldn't need it, but he does. He's the world champion. I don't know which way that question is directed.
That's all we got for you. We appreciate you guys and the level of support you give us on a Wednesday night. I know it's pretty bleak over here, but you show up, we do our thing, we entertain, and we do it better than anybody. So thank you guys very much. Jesse, any parting words before I fire up the Mustang?
Yes, join my Twitch or die.
There you go.
I really want... Oh, we got another one. One more.
And we got Adam Hernandez with a 20. How's Mr. Soldier JD? Hasn't streamed in a while. JD from NY and Chi-Town for life, and free Britt Baker. My guy Soldier's doing good. I actually spoke to him a couple of months ago when my grandma passed away. So he's doing good. He's working, and he's living life. And he may actually be moving back to Portugal. So he's doing well, and Call of Duty sucks, and I don't blame him for taking a hiatus, for sure. Thank you guys for all your support. We will be back on Friday with the streams. You guys know what's going on there. Friday Night SmackDown. I will keep you guys covered on everything happening there going into Full Gear. And then we'll be live on Saturday for Full Gear right here on Off the Script. Until then, guys, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, follow Jesse where available, and I will see you back Friday for Friday Night SmackDown right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.